Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to Movie Notions. If you like movies or you like just some random guy talking about movies or movie-related things, this is the channel for you. So why don't you do me a favor and go down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any events, okay? But today we are talking about War for the Planet of the Apes, the third installment of the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. And before we get going, I want to say I am a huge fan of almost all of the Planet of the Apes films. The one that I'm not a huge fan of being the Tim Burton adaptation because there were a lot of issues with it. And that's putting it nicely. But anyway, the original series, I've got them all directly behind me, just right up there, going along, plus the current series as well. I have been a huge fan of this since my dad first showed these to me back when I was about 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly when. But this movie pretty much solidified that this is probably my favorite adaptation of the Planet of the Apes story. Okay, this is the third installment. Okay, so we've already had the apes becoming intelligent. We've had them sort of take over, and this one picks up right where the last one picked up left off. So if you haven't seen the first two and you want to see them without spoilers, you might want to stop the video right now. I'll give you about 5 seconds to find that button. For those of you that are left, I'm not going to be spoiling anything from this third movie. I will be spoiling from the first two as well. But it picks up right where the last one left off. Caesar realizes that Coda has just started the war, and he's basically trying to fight that war, but not fight that war. We open up with this giant battle sequence between the men and the apes, and we reveal that Caesar does not want to be in this war. He tells them that I did not start this war. I don't want to fight this war. I'm here just to protect my family because you guys are attacking us. And it picks up from there. We really know his motivation and all of that. But then when tragedy strikes, he's basically flung into the midst of the war, and he has to follow it and has to do exactly what he needs to. And it's a story of him basically trying to make up for lost times. And it does a great job of not only finishing up this trilogy, but leading us into the original Planet of the Apes setup, which is what Tim Burton's is based off of, and what the original starring Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowall and Kim Hunter was all based off as well. We really get all of our questions answered on how we got to that, even though it occurs about 100 to 200 years in the future. But the one thing I have to say about this, and I'm not going to give any of them away, if you are a fan of the original Planet of the Apes, the original coming out in the 1960s with those actors I just mentioned, this movie has so many hints to it, so many drops, so many just all over. Just you can tell that they wanted to really, really tie this in with that one, okay? And not just with the story and how it's all coming together and filling in all the gaps, which they do a great job of, by the way, but they also do it in just little subtle ways, okay? Some of the shots, okay, while it doesn't fully go back to that, it is almost identical to what you would see, and it's sort of just the way the wide angle shots, some of the scenery around there really shows what the Planet of the Apes is trying to show and all of that. It really brings it together with that series. And I know they're trying to remake what kind of maybe what Tim Burton was trying to do, even though I would not even bother. I would go beyond that, go straight back to the originals and see how that's done. But this movie, like I said, does both things that we're looking for. It gets you to that original Planet of the Apes story, but also finishes up this trilogy in a very, very nice way. I highly recommend it. One of the drops that you may not recognize because you're not, or you may not be used to listening for stuff like this, but the music in this, all the music, especially around the apes and everything, really goes back to the Jerry Goldsmith score of those originals. The abnormal percussion, the dissonance, the actual use of most percussion and not very much when it comes to strings or horns or anything like that. I mean, it's very, very well done, and it sort of shows that. But then when we have the other side and they show the humans, it's got a normal like orchestral score and everything, and it really sort of morphs as the movie goes on to really fit where the power is going, and it's sort of a back and forth through all that. And I thought that was also very well done, a nice nod to the originals as well. But anyway, the one person that I don't think gets near enough credit in Hollywood but really deserves it, Mr. Andy Serkis. You are the man, and we barely ever see your face. For those of you that don't know who Andy Serkis is, he played Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He played Supreme Emperor Snoke in the new Star Wars trilogy. He played King Kong in the new adaptation King Kong, the Peter Jackson version, and he was Caesar and all this. He is the king of motion capture. And I will say that all the time. I don't think he gets enough credit because we barely ever see his face. There's very few movies we actually see his face. We do get to see it in the Black Panther coming up next month. Okay, he does actually get to show his actual face when it comes up to that, but most of the time we don't see that, and I really think he deserves more recognition. And once again, Just like with the previous Planet of the Apes films, he does a great job. Anyway, was it a good movie? It was a great movie. Was it entertaining? Yes. It was entertaining for both just the fans of this series, the ones that are a fan of the entire Planet of the Apes franchise. I mean, it was just very, very well done. I highly recommend it. Definitely find it as renter or whatever. What age would I recommend? It's sort of an advanced topic, and there is a lot of violence in it. So probably, I wouldn't say fully R, but 15 or 16. Definitely around that age is where I recommend for this. But anyway, guys, if you like what you're seeing, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. If I get up to 200 subscribers and you don't know already, I'm going to be doing the Toe of Satan challenge for you on this channel, which is the 5-minute, 9 million Scoville units of the spicy lollipop. So if you want to catch that, be sure to subscribe down here and get your friends to subscribe as well. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. God bless all of you. And that's a wrap.